Don't do this. Why are you doing this?
I thought we agreed.
No.
So I do something stupid at the start of every single recording, and you tell the audience what it is I'm doing, and then it acts as a nice little teaser for those to go and watch it on YouTube. Isn't that what we agreed?
I mean, that's what you have may agreed on, but I have not agreed to that. I'm just getting forced into this project. I don't know. It's like the third episode, and welcome to the first episode of Unresolved Dependencies with Joe snapping weirdly his fingers that his background reveals itself and doing funny moves to entertain you. And I hope also the next half an hour will entertain you to the fullest. And Joe,
great intro.
Thank you.
Fantastic intro.
I'm getting better. It's like the third one. So
it's as if this is now like a professional operation almost. You know, we're slowly.
It feels like because we already have rescheduled this one.
Exactly.
So, Jerry, how are you today? How is it going?
You know what? I always hate the short weeks when it's like a public holiday because everything just feels like so loud, busy. You know what I mean?
But do you feel that like with a short week, with like a public holiday, do you do less or more work in this week?
I feel like I do less, but it actually probably is more.
Because I also had this some years ago. I had this finding that I just figured out. I may just work like the same things or have the same pace on just working on that, and I have one day less to do everything, but still I'm doing the same workload. So it's pretty weird. So for me as well, those short weeks, they're stressful and they're always like, they feel like squeezed. You're always jumping from like one thing to another. And this is something which is weird. It feels weird. So
and of course, this is also the week as well where all the smarter colleagues have booked off as well, and they're off doing lovely things with their families and all that sort of stuff. So it's really just, let's just see how
the core
sort of stick the knife and make you feel this,
Yeah, it's just the core of people who are then just here and running the company. Yeah, it's the question why we are here. But anyways, we are here sitting and recording a podcast. We're just actually releasing, folks. Before we release the first episode, we just decided we are doing ColorCloud Special today, which we'll come back to in a moment. Yes, because like next week for us, it's already ColorCloud 2026 in Hamburg. And for me, it's nice because it's within Germany. It's weird because I will speak German to other people because it's in Germany, and it's also special for you, Joe.
It's not like you go to the shop or speak to your girlfriend or anything like that in German. It's all in English. Yeah, English.
No, it's Bavarian. It's Bavarian. Sorry.
Okay, right. Sorry, I didn't realize there was a difference there. So.
So if you ask, for example, someone from Hamburg, they will tell you there's a difference. So.
I know some of the local things. I know they have to say moin in Hamburg.
Moin,
moin, all that sort of stuff. Anything else that I need to be aware of so I can fit in like a local?
Fischbrötchen. So it's basically
fish bread.
Fish bread, yeah.
Easy. Yeah. Deutsch ist einfach. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting how good your German language is like right before that. So before we are traveling to Hamburg, I think we have our little common feature that like where Joe is traveling to, and he is always providing you some tips. And even though we are recording like 3 episodes before like 1 episode is out, and we can tell any vendor, we have enough material to just fill in this category. It's amazing. He was like, yeah, I have some. And I really had to think about mine, but this is in a second. So, Joe, please help us. Where will you traveling to? What is the next destination?
Clearly, I'm operating on a different plane of existence and life experience. It seems.
I think you're operating you're just operating on a plane at this point. This is like
exactly. I might as well just change my address to Boeing 24/7, KLM, whatever,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff.
Just a flight number if you want to
Flight
reach
number,
it.
yeah. Yeah, you can find me here. This one, so we're going to cheat a little bit on here. So we've been doing them in sequential order of where I'm going to be sort of next. This is going to be the third place I'm at based on the other two that I've told you so far. So usual drill is give you a nice little clue. You email in with your answer suggestion, hello@unresolveddependencies.com. And then we'll give you a nice little shout out and maybe even give you a little gift as well once Sebastian lets me go and spend €600 on badges and pins and
Well, it's
all
600
manner of
euros. It
different
has a
stuff.
budget already.
Has a budget. Yeah, we're being very German about this.
We're
very
moving.
So, exactly. So here's our clue then. So I will next be in a city that is world famous as being the capital of beers, and also as well has a pretty nice and beautiful English garden. Where am I going to be next? Send your answers through to hello@unresolveddependencies.com, and see if you can guess correctly, and see what the correct answer is in the next episode.
I really want to guess again, but I think with everything what I would guess, I'm so wrong. I know that, for example, like Brussels and Belgium, they have also nice beers. So
They do, and they do like the English. Right. Whether they like them enough to have gardens named after them is debatable. But certainly the beer won't taste English at least. So
is the question if this is like an honor to have like a garden renamed after you, or it's just like in order to keeping you away from it? I don't know.
Well, what was it? Somebody said that famously once that apparently England is just a country full of gardeners and shopkeepers. That's what we are apparently.
Shoplifters, maybe, yeah.
Shoplifters, yeah. Actually, yes, exactly. At the moment, exactly. So be careful where you go in the UK. That's where I'm next. But nobody cares about where I'm going. Nobody cares about my humble brags about traveling. What we really care about, Sebastian, is what have you been eating? So tell us, what has been tantalizing your taste buds this week?
Actually, I had to kind of figure something out because, I'm not just like a living Boeing by myself and just like flying around on the rolls of. For me, what I had, and it was literally yesterday. So I first of all, it was pretty plain with like rice and chicken and some vegetables. Kids, if you listen to this, eat your vegetables.
Eat your greens. Yeah, good.
Yeah, advice. Listen to this middle-aged guys here. Eat your greens, very important for your health. But the nice thing about was the chicken, because we had 2 chicken breasts, one for me, one for my girlfriend. I even made her picture this time, so we will upload this, I think, on the Instagram. But the nice thing about the chicken was it was cutted on the top of it and stuffed with goat cheese and pesto, and then was baked in the air fryer for like 20-25 minutes, and it was super nice and delicious. So it was still very, very soft and juicy, I want to say, but also had a lot of taste with the pesto and the cheese. So yeah, that was my highlight food of this week, actually. And
so it was a whole chicken then for you, or just a
no, it was just a chicken breast. So it was 2 chicken breasts, one for each. Maybe my girlfriend didn't finish hers, so I ate like the rest. How a healthy relationship should work. So
exactly, you're helping each other out constantly.
I eat twice. Yeah, that's like how it works. Yeah.
And as well, this is the second time your air fryer has made an appearance as well on the show. So yeah, you are really being that sort of middle-aged sort of guy there by having an air fryer and things.
The point, we just got it when we moved here just some weeks ago, basically, and it was like one of like the first buyings we bought for the joint kitchen, where we need to have an air fryer. It was basically the idea of my girlfriend, and it was like, you really need an air fryer? We can just throw it into the pan or the oven or something like that, and then basically I said, no, we get this one from, we don't say the brand, but we get this one as like a double stacking thingy, and okay, let's do it. There's a deal on the website, and let's buy it. And since then, I really use it heavily. I also invented science really is. I just thrown some toast and cheese on it, and this was basically it. But yeah, I invented for sure. And
so would you say it's been life-changing for you, as life-changing as the sushi that was sold to me in Vancouver, or
yeah,
was it as disappointing as that?
I mean, it's not disappointing to have the air fryer. It's really nice to have it because as well making fries or so, it's just super easy and it's good results. I'm happy with it. I like to try out new things in terms of the food in this case. So yeah, pretty happy with it.
Okay. Yeah, so I
You're
think
not
that's a
an
good
air fryer guy, you don't.
that's a good so yeah, I think that's a very good submission for you this week. You know, as I say, bit of health, bit of vegetables on there. Chicken always plays really nice, and you sort of mix it up quite sort of nice. Bit disappointed it wasn't the whole chicken. Just going to put it out there.
Okay, cool.
But
It was like my
yeah.
6th meal of the day, but okay, fine.
Okay, well, you didn't mention that. I just thought it was your first meal of the day. So, but yeah, okay.
No, it was not. Actually, the lunch was also great because I went to Aldi in the morning and got some fresh bread, and I picked up some focaccia, which was pretty nice. And I had this one for lunch, and as well today as well for lunch because I didn't do a break during working hours today, and my girlfriend brought her leftovers of this focaccia, so it was also my lunch today. So many highlights in the past 48 hours of eating. So, and I'm curious what is on for tonight because I didn't make any plans. Therefore, yeah, let's see what's happening. I keep you posted.
Well, we'll hear about it next time for sure. Next time on Sebastian's Eats.
What we'll not
see, we're getting better. We're getting better at this.
You sure? Hey, what we don't want to spare for the next time is ColorCloud. It's happening.
ColorCloud.
Everyone who doesn't know about it, stop here, pick up your phone, go to colorcloud.rocks. ColorCloud.rocks, yeah, that's the website, and look it up. Buy tickets if you don't have yet your tickets, and there is maybe as well some discount code down in the podcast description. So if you are really looking forward to see us there or to see your favorite community experts, this is your chance. And what makes ColorCloud so special for you, Joe?
Oh, I think it's always good for me to see these events happening, local events with a good focus as well on local sort of content. So yeah, and also as well local speakers and local language as well. Because you go to these big events, usually it's just English everywhere, all this sort of good stuff. It also feels like sometimes in certain other countries that maybe they don't have as many big sort of local events and stuff like that. So for me, it's always really good to sort of see that. The organizers have a big focus on great content. They have a great focus on the attendee experience as well. Work hard, play hard is the mentality, which is always pretty good. And it's a pretty nice location as well. I'm actually hoping this time to properly get to see it because the past 2 years I've always had to escape early for various reasons. So this time I'm going to have a nice weekend there, see the sights. Not swim in the river. I've been told by the organisers that the Polizei may get involved, and I'm not sure I want that for.
So don't jump in the river in Hamburg? Okay. Good to
apparently.
know. Yeah, good tip. So tip number 1, eat your greens. Tip number 2, don't jump into the water in Hamburg.
Exactly. So
life-changing tips, life advices.
But I think we touched upon this in the previous episode. But yeah, you're going to have to. It's weird for you to actually speak German at these things, which sounds very odd.
Yeah, because like everything like really work related. And I just had a demo like a few hours ago in German for a customer in Germany, and like 3 seconds before like I was jumping onto the Teams call and everything was prepared, everything was set up, I was like, oh, all my demo data, all my prompts I have prepared, my agents, my fleet of agents, basically, all 3 of them, they're all in English. But the customer is from Germany. So I in the first 2 minutes, I was just like apologizing heavily that like, yeah, everything's in English. I'm so sorry. But yeah, this is how it goes. And this is the same with these events. So this time, I think the first time I went there, not last year, but I think the year before, I also had a session in German, and it took me so long to prepare, because I really literally had to look after like all of the German translations, and it was even about preparation. So I never really used it in the German language, and I think at that point, even like my demo was in English, just like English demo data, but I was just showing it in an English system and was just speaking, explaining it in German, which was also kind of a screw up in my head. That like everything what I see is English, and then you just fill in German words within these like English sentence pieces, which is very, very funny, and makes you really think about everything and question your life. So I did not choose to speak any German at my ColorCloud sessions this year. What about you, Joe? Did you may opt in for some German? I mean, you are pretty on the Duolingo streak, right? You're training very hard.
I have 900 days, level 40 Duolingo. The bird claims I can apparently order food in restaurants. The bird is a liar,
Oh,
as always. He's terrible for this sort of stuff. But yes, I think we mentioned this last time. But yeah, I'm just going to be doing a 25-minute lightning session in German, all about Copilot Studio. So my aim is to really foster Anglo-German relations as much as possible, but I think the opposite will be achieved. I think
I think so
Sebastian's
as well.
already had sight of my script. All I had to do was scroll down to this third comment, and I just saw the words in capitals. Jesus. So let's see how that goes. So that should be.
I would leave this as a teaser for everyone who still wants to attend your session, and I support everyone who wants to go after for you after the session. So
who wants to strangle me and eject me from the country, persona non grata in Germany.
You have my support 100%.
Cool. Yeah. So let's see how that all goes there. So, but no, it should be fun. Good kick up the backside to learn a bit of German. Sprich Deutsch for meine liebe Kollege. See, yeah.
Yeah,
sounds reasonably
getting
convincing,
there.
doesn't it?
Sounds like you heard this before, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I've listened to it enough, and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's on the Thursday, I want to say, 25 minutes. So let's see how that sort of goes. And then yeah, we've got the Beautiful Apps workshop on Wednesday with Cahtrine Burvold from Norway. So that's going to be really good to do. All-day workshop, looking at how we can make beautiful apps, work with containers and all this sort of stuff. It was quite interesting. We had a comment, I think, on LinkedIn from November VP Andrew Welch, who kind of rightly pointed out that even with all this AI stuff happening at the moment, that yeah, sometimes sessions going back to the fundamental concepts are still going to be really important, because, and I think you've had an experience of this week, Seb, is yeah, you can vibe the shit out of anything, create an app and all this sort of stuff, but do you actually know how it works underneath the hood? Do you actually know if it's built you something that is good and fit for purpose? So without that knowledge of, okay, containers, why you would use them, okay, what's the role of them? They give you mobile responsiveness, they make things nicer, render correctly, all this sort of good stuff. How are you going to know to spot those smells before, when you're just vibing all day long,
Yeah, AI is not replacing you juniors, basically. So this is definitely one of the learnings we already had so far. So not that we experience it, but like we see it that this is definitely the case, that you need to know about what are your fundamentals, what is your fork in your knife, basically. And then you can still enhance and choose this with AI to just get better results or to get there faster. And that really helps with that. Question for the workshop: is it also in German then? And you're so committed to be a German speaker soon?
No, that would be quite a good surprise to drop on Cahtrine, though, potentially. Oh yeah, by the way, we're doing this in German, but no, that is going to be in English.
Well, I have more trust in her to pull this off than you.
Yeah. I think my understanding is that Norwegian is quite similar in some of the words are quite similar and things like that for German. So you can maybe make a bit of a good guess, shall we say? So
we will figure this out when we're on site if Norwegian is really that close to German. Indeed. I have some doubts here, but okay,
we'll find out. But how do you approach preparing for like a conference like this for your sessions, Sebastian?
Depends on the session, to be honest. So I have two sessions. Both are on the first day. One is joined by our lovely friend Andrew Bibby, who I have the honor to share the stage with him. So that's very nice. And we basically, in those case, we already did a similar session like last year, but we of course like updated it to like the current ground. And we talked 2 weeks ago, and we met very briefly about like what we want to keep, what we want to throw out, what worked in the first place, what doesn't work. So if you, for example, have a session you already have done, which is, I would say, good commonplace for like a lot of speakers, that they at least have similar sessions across the year, or like similar topics in their sessions across the year, and they always can fine tune based on like what was a good example, for example. Was a good example, for example, yeah. But that happens too often.
That's good.
Yeah, that happens too
Like
often. Yeah. But you can kind of figure out the use cases, if they were good, if you may need to precise a topic more closely. And I think we made a good job on that, to throw out stuff that was like maybe double, or that was nonsense, or as well just very simple, which is outdated. We are moving so fast with all of this agent stuff. In between, it was renamed to Copilot Studio Lite, which is no longer the case. Now it's Agent Builder again. So preparing for that. And my second session was actually on project operations, which is my lovely niche topic, our liaison, basically, I want to call it. And here it's basically a very different approach, because I'm all by my own, and I cannot really always tell how big and how knowledgeable the crowd will be, because with pressure operations being still some kind of a topic which needs a lot of explanation, I could just stand there for like this 45 minutes and explain it. So I have really more work here to do, where I need to sit down and think about a story I want to tell. So this is where I usually start with when I concept a new session. So I do have a story. I do have a story, and I do have a goal. Sometimes the story is there before there's a goal. Sometimes there's a goal before there's a story. Depends. Mostly, I can be very open. So 80% of that like are thoughts when I'm done with the gym, or when I'm in the gym. This is where I like most of my creativity sparks, and the other 20 is like shower thoughts, like literally. Like when I text you like these like big blocks in WhatsApp, which like is an idea, or like we should do this or that. That's like 99% I was in the gym like minutes before, or I'm still at the gym.
Or the showers. So now I've got those images in my mind. Every time I see 4 messages from you, it's like, right, okay.
Shower. Where's Vivian? No, it's not like that. It's not like that. I don't shower with my phone, to be honest. But my phone is.
I mean, that would be a bad idea. Your phone tends to get a little bit wet. Yeah, so that's probably good.
No, don't. Further-wise, don't shower with your phone. But like, how do I approach it?
Yeah, eat your vegetables. Don't shower with your phone. What was the third one for the kids?
That was yours. What was the?
Yeah,
I already forgot.
Something about the don't swim in Hamburg rivers. There you go.
Don't jump into the river. Don't jump into the Elbe. Yeah, but yeah, back to the session. So I think for this preparation session, for example, I need to drill down the knowledge. So I have the story, I have a goal, and then I need to look at the target audience, and then I need to figure out, okay, what could be interesting for them. And this is where it's difficult, because I do see in the app like a number, like how many people liked the session, but this is like not a breaking indicator of like how many people will be there. And there's also not about like the level who will attend. And I now decided to change the level of the own session. So every session, when you submit a session, you need to decide on like which level this is on. So there's level 100, which is mostly like for beginners. So if you're new to this topic, it really then explains like how this works, a little bit of marketing, a bit of salesy stuff, a lot of slides usually. and explains like just the high level of like what is the concept, what are the benefits of that feature, of the product, of whatever it is about. Then there's level 200 where it's intermediate, and this is where I struggle the most actually to figure out if it's 200, 300, or 100, because there's also 300 where it's like advanced, and then there's usually already some details with some breaking down of technical features on like how it is basically works. For example, I think the workshop you're doing is like starting on like level 100 and then it goes down to level 300 perhaps. While you only have 45 minutes, you cannot really build something up during this 45 minutes.
Well, this is the interesting thing with our workshop, and we actually was having a discussion yesterday with Cahtrine about it. Is okay, we're going to have to look at the, we can basically do the workshop in a few different sort of ways. If you've never touched the platform before, there's one route we can go down. If you are more of an expert, then we can jump into maybe the more technical, more interesting stuff. So one of the things we do there is just try and send out a bit of a survey beforehand to the users. Also, get a bit of a temperature check in the room before we start, and then we can then kind of go off into more interesting directions. The key thing is have a plan, but be prepared to deviate and go off into different directions. You don't want to be just sat there teaching people how to suck eggs, as we say here in the UK.
And I have another tip. So, because I do it the same way. So if you come to my session, I will ask like the audience, like how far they are in their preparations journey, or if they may even have started yet. And if I see like we have a lot of like people who are have not started with their journey yet, I will explain things much more in detail, and I will spend more time on the basics. While if we do have maybe a crowd which are already using preparations, I will just focus on the new stuff, on like which is nice and brings in new capabilities, like we talked about last week about the what if scenarios on the quote level. So I will maybe just show this, explain that in detail, how it works, how it can beneficially your progress. So the tip is I have for you that the audience does not know before when you leave something out. So just because your plan sticks with that and your plan says you need to talk 5 minutes about project budgeting or sales to or lead to invoice processing or something like that, or in your case, how to create a nice button. Maybe you should include this. The audience will not figure out if you wanted to talk about this or not. And if they want to know more about it, they can still come to you after the session, because you're anyways, as a speaker, running around this event and being in contact with like everyone all the time. So that's maybe as well advice for a lot of people going to an event. And if this is your first one, just go up to the people, just talk to them. This is, and I think I speak for a lot of people in the community, this is why we are doing that, to get there and talk to everyone and get like your advices and understand your issues and perhaps can help you. I'm not guaranteeing
all about the networking. Absolutely.
Your issues. I hope you will. Same for me, of course. It was just putting Joe in the pan, but the talking to people, talking to real people, listening to their journey, understanding what they're struggling with, maybe helping with that, because we may have seen this before, we may have encountered this before. This is why we're doing that. So come to us, talk to us. We are just normal human beings. There is nothing special about us. We are just stupid enough to expose us on the stage.
Don't underestimate the importance that a conversation can have in terms of giving you a new idea, new perspective, or just to network and connect, things like that. But
correct me if I'm wrong.
Or correct you, exactly, yeah. But I've got a really important question now, Sebastian. So what if you're listening to this podcast, you're completely sick of the pair of us, you don't want to come to our sessions? What other sessions are there in ColorCloud that could be interesting for people to attend? Do you have maybe a couple that you would like to recommend?
I do have, because not only I will speak at the event, I will also attend sessions, because I'm never stop learning. And basically there are two sessions which I want to recommend in like one saying, because they're both from our dear good friend, Daniel Laskowitz. And one of them is MCP or not to MCP. That's the question. Happening on the 16th, which is the Thursday, right?
What is MCP, Seb, for those who maybe ask wondering?
It's a model context protocol server, and as the name says, it provides you more context for the agent. So the agent can connect to an MCP server, and the MCP server comes in with shipped tools and maybe as well resources, which is quite new. And these tools are basically executing, for example, creation of a new Word document or creation of new email, and they do have more context than your just default connector. So the results you will get back are potentially better. And you can also create custom MCPs and connect, for example, to any open API that's documented. So that's super nice and great to have, and it brings a lot of value to agents because, as the name says, it adds like so much more context. And Daniel will talk about that, and he's very proficient in the spice. And in the same breath, I want to as well talk about his session on the Friday at 1 p.m. where he talks about Copilot Cowork, because what Claude Cowork and now Copilot Cowork differences is Claude Cowork works on your local machine, while, for example, Claude Copilot, oh Jesus Christ. So Claude Cowork is it's very complicated to pronounce as a German. Claude Cowork, that's so awful.
Claude Cowork. There you go.
Cloud Cowork is running on your machine, right? It's locally. While Copilot Cowork actually runs in the cloud. So you can just throw the task, leave it, and come back, and it's done. And it can basically process across all your M365 data and all of your stuff you have connected with your Dynamics, for example, and just do tasks. So it's a very productive tool. And I heard good things. I've not tried it because we are not exposed to any Anthropic models. So it's a bit the downer as well, I think, for the German audience, that it currently just runs with the Anthropic models. Yeah, that's maybe just something that's a timely holdback. And then I want to highlight one more session, which I just lost where it is. But there is one more session with Mate. I hope I pronounced this right. If I'm wrong, please punch me in the face, Marty, if you hear this. It's from grayscale to full color, the 45-minute networking there for techies. And I met Marty, I think, some months ago for the first time. And he's a really nice guy, and has a very nice perspective on different things, on like how as well to connect with people and how talk to people and how networking could work. And I think you will get a very different and very nice new perspective on things during his session. So
he's a damn good photographer as well. So
I didn't know that.
Very good. Nice. Yeah.
Nice. That's why you have such good photos.
Exactly. What can I say?
You may also have some recommendations for our fellow listeners.
I do, yes. So a couple of sessions to check out. So at the moment, I'm doing this week quite a bit of contact center training, even though my experience in terms of actual implementations, we won't comment on that one. So this is why I'm going to be going to probably Christine Risberg's session on this. We're going deep into the world of contact center. Contact center is quite a nice application, Dynamics 365 contact center application. Some nice ways you can kind of deploy it out, either with the customer service module or with your own custom CRM and stuff like that. So really interested to sort of see some stuff there about how we can use it in practice and all that sort of good stuff. I think as well, I want to go and see, because I missed it in Tallinn and I heard some really good feedback, Dan Barber's session, 7 or so habits of highly effective consultants, because at the end of the day, that's what we are. We are consultants. People come to us, we give them an opinion. We each give people different opinions. Nobody can agree. And the usual sort of thing. So if we can become better consultants, give more consistent opinions, be more as consistent as these large language models, then it's going to be better for everyone, in theory.
I thought you just update your LinkedIn description to white podcaster now, but now you're consultant again. Okay.
Okay, I've got many hats. I just want to have as many titles as possible. This is all I've got.
Master of none, basically.
Yeah, exactly. As we said before, I'm just useless, So let's just go with that. So the more I can aggrandize myself, the better. So that will be going to be a really good session. And then I also want to check out Elvira and Emma's session on Microsoft Foundry, because that is quite an interesting area. Well, I think for both of us at the moment, really. In terms of learning more about all of that.
Yeah, I think Foundry is a bit of like blind spot for us at the moment. So it's definitely something we may as well force us within this podcast to keep track of our journey. Let's see, maybe that's a good idea to put on more pressure.
Exactly. So we'll put the details of we put the details of everyone we've spoken about in the description down there. So yeah, if you are listening to this before the event and you want to check out the sessions, then do check them out. It should be quite fun.
Yeah, and definitely stop by. Not at our sessions. You go to somewhere else. You already listened to us, so just go to somewhere else. Make them happy. Show up and have a good time at the event and talk to as many people as you can get. And I hope you have a great time there. And I think with that, our little special for ColorCloud is already in the books. A little bit behind the scenes, a little bit tasty chicken, a lot of advices apparently. So we may need to update our podcast description here already after 3 episodes. So we are life changing. We make changes. We can basically make your life better.
Do we have a description for this? I didn't think we were that prepared.
Of course I have of course. Come on.
Okay. I thought we were just YOLOing this, But
you don't trust me. This is what I have to work with.
You bring the planning, I bring the good energy and the vibes. This is how we make magic happen. On this.
Which vibes is weird finger clipping in the beginning, or punching yourself on the chest. You look like a crab, basically. Yeah, you look like a crab. He's like,
I've told you, this is how we get views on the YouTube video. This is how, because people will be thinking, okay, why has he gone all silent? Why is Sebastian getting all weirded out? What's that weird noise in the background? They'll want to go and watch the video. So I'm thinking very strategically here about how to do this. Growth
I think
mindset.
they just want to see my disappointment in my face when you do stupid stuff. But okay.
No, that's just your normal German expression. So yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, episode 3 in the bag. I think we're getting better. So hopefully people.
You think it's getting better? Okay.
I'd like to think so. I mean, we'll have a chat later on about maybe some areas where you can improve. As a person. Just putting it out there. As a person. Okay. No, I'm joking. No, I think it's going good. It's going good.
Just a terrible human, Sebastian. Please change.
Yeah, just change who you are fundamentally as a person if you want this podcast to continue. And on that bombshell, I guess we can leave it there for today.
Yeah. Then, thank you for listening. Thank you for sticking by. Follow, subscribe, comment, whatever in the show notes, in the comments, wherever there is.
Smash that like button. Hit that like button. Yeah, all that sort of stuff.
Smash the like button like a burger. Yeah. And hope to see you at ColorCloud. Shoot out as well. We may have forgot about this. Shoot out to the whole team around Mats, Björn, Pauline, and all the others people making those things possible, like Benedict and everyone who's working on that. So all the volunteers as well, of course, because they also do this in their spare time. They're just not getting anything out of it unless it's fun. Fun. Yeah.
It's the same in German as English, yeah.
But in German it's Fun, but okay. Never mind. See you soon. Take care. Have a great one. Bye-bye.